I'm Gaby, and I was raised in Oakland.
Cool. My name is Dasha, and I'm from Russia, and it rhymes, so easy to remember.
Nice.
Growing up, did you feel proud about how people who look like you were portrayed in the media? Did you see representations of your race in the media at all?
I grew up in a very Latino neighborhood, which is the Fruitvale district in Oakland, and I feel like growing up, my parents didn't watch a lot of English television. I watched telenovelas, which is the soap opera. And of course, like the women on TV, they were very glamorous. They had a lot of makeup, very big boobs. But I never quite saw it as realistic in general. I thought it was very much TV, and that's what it was. I never thought that that was the way that my friends, my family, or anyone that I knew looked. I just thought that that's how people on TV looked. I guess that it wasn't until I started getting older that I realized that that's a lot of other people portray us that way, but we don't portray ourselves that way all the time necessarily. Yeah.
I don't really remember of having any role model. There were definitely my race and my ethnicity people, but they were either really feminine or there was a lot of sort of misogyny going on, or women hated on one another because of men. And there were definitely no queer people. Of course, there were, or if there was a conversation about it, that was about the disease, that is the disease of being queer, or HIV, which came with that somehow. Yeah. Anyway, there's a follow-up question. Oh. How did this make you feel about people who look like you? How did it make you feel about the way you look?
There was also a lot of light-skinned people, like in soap operas, and they didn't always look like the people around me. But that was confusing because I'm a light-skinned Mexican, and that was like, well, I also didn't fit in with my classmates, and because they look different than me. They have long black hair, and I'm pale, and I have green eyes. So I didn't want to be like the people on TV that were lighter skinned, because lighter in Mexico, there's such a hierarchy when it comes to like skin color. But I didn't want to look light skinned. I wanted to have the long black hair. I wanted to have the olive colored skin, and I wanted to look more Mexican. So I think it was the opposite.
Yeah, did you feel like people perceived you as being white, of like European descent? Or?
Yeah, I often got confused for I've gotten confused for being, I think, Russian. That's one thing.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten confused for that, and I think that there was in high school there was a wave of immigrants from Bosnia that were escaping some of the conflict. So I remember a time when they came up to me and they told me, "Why don't you talk to us?" And I was like, I was really confused. I was like, "Oh, I don't. My name is Gaby, and I don't really know you." And they're like, "Well, us Bosnian people, we stick together." And I was like, "Well, actually, I'm Mexican." And they're like, "Oh." Cool. But like several people just come and talk to me in Russian or in different languages. Yeah. How about you?
I went through a phase when I wanted to look really feminine, and I did. I put on high heels and lipstick and tried to use makeup, and the girls in school would come to me and say that I did something wrong, like I didn't fit, like I wouldn't put eyeliner right, or put too much of it, or my clothes was cheap because we didn't have much money, and I would have kind of be bullied by that, like you don't have the nice clothes, don't try to pretend to look nice because you don't have money.
They would actually tell you that?
It's Russia. People tell those things. When I was 15, they started showing this American soap opera Friends, a TV show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I remember thinking that I need to learn English. The lifestyle just seemed amazing. I could not believe people could live that way and be so free and have an apartment and hang out and such. So I think those people were sort of role models, I would say, for a short period of time, thinking that maybe one day I could live that way and
freely.
Be free, and no one tell me what to do or how to look. And So that was interesting.
I think that privilege means the benefits that you have, exactly, social class, economic, or as far as like the way that you look, your gender, and also the experiences, the opportunities you've been able to have to transcend into like, to get either job opportunities or academic opportunities.
Some people, feel like there's a lot of guilt around privilege. Like people feel guilty and there is shame and privilege is a bad thing, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that's what makes us complex and different, and I think there are ways to sort of embrace it. I mean, we own our privileges versus deny it or hide it or feel bad about it, and sort of unite it and share it instead of segregate each other into groups.
If their color of their skin is I guess, preferred by society, and they use it to kind of climb up and oppress other people, then I think that that's when it's not okay.